Welcome back to another video. I think the world is holding its breath in this moment regarding the so-called proxy war which the Americans are fighting against the Iranians, using Israel as their sidekicks. Now, Trump, everyone's going to probably expected a great speech regarding declaration of war against Iran. Don't forget, it's a proxy war. It goes by different so-called rules. And if it would announced publicly such attack over Iran would be so-called advantage for the Iranians. I think the Iranians perfectly know the Americans are going to come and bomb them, even if the so-called Israelis saying we're having a great success of targeting missiles in Iran, which I find a bit silly, because by now you would have taken out a certain part of their arsenal, and Iranians, are sending a hell of a lot of these missiles over, hitting targets in Israel. Obviously, the fog of war. And the war sent by the Israelis, obviously they don't want to show these people are hitting back hard. There are issues with the Ayatollah Khomeini, who has health problems. Some say he ran to Russia, which I don't believe. These are not cowards, for stars, not like the cowards of the West. They run and hide in bunkers. Don't forget, Iran and Middle East have a history of 5,000 years, respecting ours, probably 1,000 years civilization. And mind you, the Iranians announced we have something up our sleeve which could devastate if the area gets attacked for centuries to come. This comes in mind a nuke, and I think the Americans are eager to destroy every single nuclear processing plant, whether it's civilian or military. This is a bit like weapons of mass destruction in 2003, Iraq. Remember that? It's the same blueprint they are selling us. They're selling us another war. This will be World War III. And the Iranians, they have really good missile technology, very efficient, very precise, and next to no time it could be put on the platform and launch. So the bullshit the Israelis have most gain over the airspace of Iran. It's a load of crap, because like I mentioned before, the Iranians they can carry launching their stuff and hitting back more hard at Israel. Regarding the so-called weapon, what they got their sleeve, Iranians, it could be a nuke. It's not that difficult for them to mount a nuclear warhead. They probably may have created one themselves already. And you've seen these intelligence people in the West saying, oh, they've got enough uranium to create 20 warheads. You've got to ask yourselves of what yield they have. Probably type of warhead which they use like Hiroshima, sufficient enough to stop the Israelis and Americans continuing with their regime change insanity in the Middle East to conquer the whole world, turn it into a global hamburger empire. The Iranians somehow going to have to demonstrate a strength, probably through a nuclear detonation. Because probably like this, the Israelis and the Americans and all those allies probably back off. Mind you, these Nikons are psychopaths and they're capable of sacrificing us to obtain their goals. This could be in a situation which could evolve into dragging people to fight a war which they don't want a war. I think most Western populations, despite Western politicians which are sidekicks of Washington, even Giorgia Meloni, the Italian Prime Minister, said Iran must not have nuclear weapons. Who are you to say that? And all these military build-ups, these airborne fuel tankers, 30 of them, mainly American, some from European countries, and then on that island of Diego Garcia, which for a few months has been seeing a substantial percentage of military airborne hardware of America. They'll probably use that to bomb Iran. It's a very delicate situation, and the Russians and Chinese, I think they can't stand back. They must react in some way, because otherwise they will be next on the list if they manage to take out Iran.